Good morning and thanks so much for joining us on this Thursday. It is May 7th, guys. We're rolling through the month of May. I can't believe it. Saw that big ball of sunshine in the sky earlier today, and that was pleasant, but it's not warm out. It's just sunny, which is why I'm going to toss it to you guys, my weather friends, because explain that phenomenon.
Yeah, it's just one of those mornings, right, where it looks nicer than it feels. We have high pressure in charge of our weather today. We have clear skies. We had a cold front move through yesterday. That's why we had a little bit of rainfall, and now that chillier air moving in behind the front. But don't worry, we're going to see plenty of sun today, and that will help to warm us up this afternoon. And with high temperatures in the mid to upper 60s, a few spots may even sneak to below 70s. Cloud cover increases for Friday, and then we'll see a rain chance increase late in the day Friday on into Friday evening before we see another round of cold air for the weekend. High temperatures Saturday in the 50s. By early Sunday morning, we could see a widespread frost with temperatures in the 30s before we see our highs in the mid 60s on the way up into the mid 70s for highs by the middle of next week.
All right, it is 6:48. We're on top of some breaking news out of Alamance County. We know one person is dead after a deputy and officer involved shooting this morning. Candace Redd is live at the scene. Candace, what's the latest?
Well, Megan, as you mentioned, one person is dead after an officer-involved shooting. Giving you a look at the scene right now, you can still see purple, black, and blue gloves left behind after the investigation. Well, here's what we know so far. The shooting happened at midnight at the corner of West Hardin Street and North Maple Street in Graham. Now, before the shooting, authorities say the suspect took law enforcement on a multi-agency car chase. It started in Orange County with deputies from the Orange County Sheriff's Office. Now, moments later, Alamance County deputies and Mebane police got involved in the chase. The pursuit ended right here with gunfire. Authorities say the suspect got out of the vehicle displaying a weapon, and after that, authorities say an Alamance County deputy and a Mebane police officer each pulled out their weapon and fired. Well, we do know that the suspect was later pronounced dead. The officers were not hurt, but under standard protocol, the officers have been placed on administrative leave pending the completion of the investigation. We do know that the SBI is handling this investigation, but law enforcement, they're not releasing any additional details at this time. But as always, you could bet that WFMY News 2, we will stay on top of this story and bring you the latest on air and online at WFMYnews2.com.
All right, let's get to some of your other headlines right now. Tomorrow, starting at 5 p.m., North Carolina retail stores will open for the first time in more than a month. It's part of Phase 1 in the state's reopening plan. Let's go ahead and recap what's included in Phase 1. You can leave your house to go to businesses that are opening. That includes clothing stores, sporting goods stores, and more. Gatherings are still limited to 10 people, while parks can reopen. Playground equipment is still off limits. Also, churches can have outdoor services of more than 10 people. Keep in mind the stay-at-home order is still in place and people are encouraged to stay home and to social distance. So a lot of places cannot open yet, including restaurant dining rooms, hair salons, gyms, and theaters. You also won't be able to visit assisted living facilities. You can text the word phases to the number on your screen to get a complete breakdown.
A local college has conducted a new poll out about what North Carolinians think about President Donald Trump and the federal government's response to COVID-19. The poll shows President Trump has a 44% approval rating in North Carolina. That is up 4 percentage points from his April approval rating. Governor Roy Cooper had a boost with 60% approval overall. Wi-Fi equipped school buses are rolling out across the state. The goal is to make e-learning easier for students in need. Governor Cooper says the buses with hotspots will go to 29 counties across the state. The buses will travel to underserved areas and school districts and park in designated locations like school meal distribution sites or grocery stores. The Wi-Fi buses will give students temporary access to turn in assignments, download materials for schools, and connect with teachers. And we're taking a look at the national outlook of COVID-19 numbers, or the statewide numbers rather, on our screen. This is per the State Health Department as of yesterday, the 11 a.m. update. There were 12,758 confirmed cases. That's an increase of about 500 cases since Tuesday, according to the Health and Human Services Department. 25 more people died statewide, bringing the death total to 477. Guilford County added 43 more positive COVID-19 cases to its total. 2 more people died. You can see all triad totals in the county by county map on our website. Keep in mind the total number of positive cases is decreasing as testing increases.
Well, here's some good news for you. Cone Health celebrated its 100th coronavirus recovery yesterday. Medical staff gathered to wave goodbye to Luis Teodoro as he left the Green Valley campus in Greensboro. Staff say the medical team worked really hard to get him to this point.
He had been through quite an experience getting through his illness. We were very excited to see him get into his car and drive off with his family, because we know that things could have easily gone the other way.
This is awesome. Well, just because he's home, it doesn't mean the fight is over. There's still a long road ahead. There's the home health care, daily prescriptions he has to take, and hopefully he gets plenty of rest. We don't want you to miss this. You have an opportunity to see the North Carolina Air National Guard perform flyovers across the state today. This is a look at the planned route. You can see the planes will be in Winston-Salem around 11:20 this morning, and then in Greensboro by 11:30. You want to step outside. This whole flyover across our area will only take about 10 minutes. All right, let's jump into our first conversation of the morning. We want you to join in by commenting in the chat section, and we're going to start with what everyone is Googling during this stay-at-home order. Stacy, take it away.
Yeah, so it seems like everyone is focused on self-care right now as we are all staying at home, and a search interest in beauty has reached a search high for Google here in the United States. So just in the past week, hair mask searches have increased 300%. And in the past month, at-home pedicure searches have also gone up 300%, while lotion and hand creams have reached an all-time high in search interest worldwide. So speaking of Google glow-ups, I was curious to see what you guys have done for self-care lately. Y'all know I talk about my hair all the time and how I desperately want to go to a hair salon. So I've been Googling a lot of at-home just like hair remedies to make my hair just give it some love.
Yeah, self-care for me, I just put this in our chat, means bad eyebrows and very low maintenance. I tried to do them myself the other day. I was unsuccessful, and now I have to spend at least 13 minutes filling them back in every morning. So I have to wake up now early. But, you know, you can't tell. I've been able to mask it a little bit, but it was definitely a failure on my part. So the only person who's winning in this, I think, is Taran Kirksey, because he's already been doing this for quite a while in terms of cutting his own hair. Taran, you are the winner of the stay-at-home self-care maintenance.
Well, you know, it's easy to be the winner when you're low maintenance anyway. You know, I cut my hair. Sometimes it looks bad. Sometimes it doesn't. I don't care. I have pimples right now on my face. I don't care. You know, so that's just what it is. It's been easy for me. So my self-care has been nothing.
Yeah. I was going to say, you're doing a great job masking it because you can't tell at all.
I appreciate it.
All right, so Ed, are you as low maintenance as Turan, or are you more in the middle like me?
I'm kind of in the middle.
Okay.
My eyebrows look horrible, okay? So no close-up shots here in the weather garden, but I like to be groomed, you know, take care of myself and all that. I think with all this extra snacking that I've been doing by staying at home, nice to get out and walk. And, you know, I've told you so many times that I walk my dog a lot and get outdoors and all that. So I think that's kind of my maintenance, is enjoying the recent nice weather that we've had here in the Piedmont.
All right, yeah, I mean, as soon as you said no close-ups here, the camera actually got closer. I just want to let you know what we're seeing on our end. Yeah,
no.
Cover it all up, Ed. Just joking, you look fantastic. As well as Megan Malaris, you know, when I came back to work after maternity leave, I will guarantee you that I looked 100% worse than you do. You look amazing. And you can't even tell that you're tired and not getting any rest. So whatever you're doing, it's working. Keep it up.
Well, thank you, Tracy, but I disagree. You looked fabulous after both of your babies when you came back to work. So my beauty regimen, something that I've Googled lately, is how to take off gel nail polish. I got some gel nails put on back in March when I was finally ready to get out and about with the baby, you know, because flu season was coming to at least a decline. And I was like, okay, we can go out places. Let me get my nails done. So I had 4 coats of gel nail polish on when all this happened. And so I was Googling how to take it off without ruining your nails. All that didn't work, so I just texted my neighbor who's an expert and I said, please help me. And so she put some products in a little baggie with step-by-step instructions and dropped it on my doorstep. And so we were social distancing and she was able to help me, and ta-da, it worked. So I'm thankful for her and being able to adapt in this era of social distancing.
Yeah, at least you had some good advice, you know. That's interesting because I had gel nails too. Stacy, I think you did. I remember talking to our executive producer, Courtney, about how to properly, you know, get your gel nails off, and it took me like at least 3 hours to soak them off, and even then they were still unhealthy. So, you know, it's a struggle, and you guys are struggling too. G. Janaea says, my eyebrows are horrendous. Great, join the club. Kim says, I'm getting used to the gray, unfortunately, LOL, and I need a pedicure. Anita says she looks like she has a unibrow, so at least we're not there yet, Anita. But yeah, this is so awesome. Oh, and then people are saying that we are beautiful regardless. So we appreciate you guys weighing in. Turan, you again get the award, and you are just so gorgeous. You're so lucky. It's a natural thing. Just a natural thing. All right, Stacey, let's see if our other talker is getting people talking this morning.
Well, speaking of self-care, a lot of people have been looking to their faith during this time. And actually, churches can start holding outdoor services this weekend in North Carolina if they practice social distancing. So this morning we asked you, we want to know, how will you enjoy church this Sunday? Are you going to continue to do virtual services? You're not going to be leaving your home, or are you going to go to an outdoor service and you miss being with your congregation? Let's take a look at and see what some of you said about this on Tracy's Facebook page. Carolyn says, virtual, most definitely. Faye says, we are doing what we call parking lot service. We all wear masks and wave and speak to friends from a distance. Mira says, virtual service, although I miss being physically present in the church. And lastly, Reggie says, I truly believe it is still too early. With that, we will attend, but we will remain in our car.
All right, so a lot of people already weighing in. I remember doing a story a few weeks back when Equation Church from Greensboro and Pastor Dion Clark decided that they were going to do all of their services virtually. They were going to also hold their Bible studies and all of their, church meetings online through Zoom chat rooms. And a lot of churches have kind of picked up that same call as well. So there may not be a need to go to the outdoor service anymore, but I like the virtual church experience, and I will probably continue doing that as long as it's offered to me. What about you guys? We'll start with you, Ed.
Well, my home church in Sanford, of course, I work on Sunday mornings. I can make the service if I speed to Sanford after I get off work, but that's not a smart move, right? So I like the virtual on Facebook service that my minister in Sanford is doing. And quite frankly, when all this is over with someday, I hope they will continue to do those services online, because it gives me an opportunity. I would love to physically be there every Sunday, but it's really nice to hear his message from my home church.
Yeah, I mean, that is nice to be able to hear your own pastor giving the message. And that's what really draws us, as people who are, believers to the church anyway. It doesn't have to be a physical building anymore. All right, so how about you, Taran? Right. What are you doing?
Oh, well, my church has been offering the online services for a long time, and so nothing has changed much. I prefer the online service, to be honest, and we'll probably continue to do that. And although when things do open up, we'll probably go to the location occasionally, but I think that the virtual service is sufficient for me, to be honest.
So Stacy and I also we read Bible verses every day. We have something that pops up on our phone and gives us the verse of the day. And I remember one day it popped up on your phone. I was like, oh my God, I was just looking at that. So what are you doing to kind of, stay in tune with your faith during this time?
Yeah, I will be honest, I've really been relying heavily on it during this time. There's just been a lot going on. And so I've just been looking to the Lord for guidance and help through all of this. We are still technically, I guess, church shopping, as you would say, looking for that right place to call our home. But so thankful for virtual services that I can watch. A church that I used to attend back in Arkansas, my home state. So it's been nice to be able to watch those. I don't think that I would go to an outdoor service at this time, just because, well, this weekend is looking a little cold. So I think I'll stay inside and warm with my coffee.
Awesome. Well, I just put in the chat, Stacy, for anyone to give you some great church ideas. And hopefully we can solicit some things that you can try out online for the next, few weeks, at least until we're back inside the church. Yeah, no problem. Okay, Megan, you're up next.
Yeah, I don't think I'm necessarily comfortable going inside a church. Obviously, that's not even an option as of yet. But outside, I don't know. It depends how close together and how many people are going to be there at one time. I know there are limitations on that as well within this new executive order. So before you go to church this weekend, you need to be able to read those and understand what's allowed and what's not allowed, so you don't get turned away at your congregation. But, it might be a little too soon for me. I was talking to my priest about this back in March before all these restrictions happened. And I said, what would happen if this virus were to get worse and you guys have to close? And that obviously ultimately happened. And he said, well, there is some value, a huge value, to all being together, present in person in a congregation. But there are certain situations out of our control. Christian believers believe it's in God's control, and there's not much we can do about it besides following the regulations and staying healthy, and God will hopefully understand.
Megan, aren't you so glad that you were able to get in Christian's baptism or his service right before all of the restrictions took place?
Yeah, it was, I believe, like 3 or 4 days before North Carolina started imposing some restrictions. And I was feeling kind of like out of the loop, being on maternity leave, not necessarily focused on the entirety of this situation, because it all kind of happened really rapidly, at least that first week that these cases really started popping up here. But even then, when Christian was baptized, the priest took special precautions to make sure that each baby in the baptism was spaced out, had its own holy water, its own oil for the service. So he was already taking precautions, and I really appreciate that, especially now looking back.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't even think about that. So we are getting a lot of people who are commenting on our page right now in this section. And Brenda says she misses her church friends. I think we all do. It's been so long since we've been able to, get together as a congregation. Carla says they've been able to do outside church for a little while. Heather says, my church has been doing virtual services every day. It's a big church, though, and she's thankful that they are doing virtual services. Kathy says her church had indoor service last night. Well, that's interesting. Let us know where that was. We need to make some calls. Lynetta says my church is having virtual services via Facebook and her church website. And Brenda says she wishes she had virtual church. By the way, Stacy, make sure you go through the comments, because a lot of people are giving you some suggestions as you are church shopping, as you call it, which is great, you know. Before you become a member of a church, you know, it's good to check them out. And it's a little bit easier now that it's online. So before we get to the forecast, Taran and Ed, I have to say that our viewers are really liking your low maintenance lifestyle. And they say that you guys look great. So thanks for bringing it every day. Despite the stay-at-home orders, you guys still look flawless.
Well, all I can say about that is thank you so very much. I still need to work on these eyebrows, but as we take a look at the 7-day, I tell you what, you can open your eyes and look at that for sure. Bright sunshine today. You know, unofficially at the airport, we went down to 37 this morning, up to 67 today, a bright sunny day with a little breeze. Now clouds start to build late tonight. Much of Friday I think is going to turn out dry, but as we head to the mid and late afternoon, we'll see some showers move in, off and on showers Friday night. A high on Friday back up around 67. Now behind that next rain system, look at the weekend. It's going to be dry, plenty of sunshine, but really, really frosty. Only in the upper 50s coming up on Saturday, mid 60s on Sunday. But look at that morning low on Sunday with a clear sky and light to near calm winds. I think we're going to see some widespread frost across the Piedmont, and just about all of the Piedmont dipping into those mid 30s by Sunday morning. Get ready.
Yeah, I'm bracing for it. I mean, you already had your coat on this morning. It just makes me think, what is to come? Thanks so much for joining us on our After GMS show on Facebook. It happens every day at 7:45, Monday through Friday, and we love talking with you guys. I feel like I know like half the people like by first name. I recognize their name. I'm like, oh, hey, you know, on our chat. So it's a great way for us to bond and connect with you. And we will see you guys next time. Stay safe.